everyone, we are going to do an isometric core strength workout. We're going to look at a couple of exercises, the ideal form for these exercises, and then how we can advance them and make them more difficult. So the first exercise we're looking at is stand and balance. This is really the foundation for all of our core strength exercises. So your dog's core runs between their chest, their back, their abdominal area, down through their pelvis. That's their primary core. The secondary core is also the muscles that support the front limb and the rear limb. Isometric muscle contraction is really important because this is when your dog holds posture. So they contract their muscles to hold still in a position. The foundation for this really is a nice stand. So that's what we're going to look at as your first exercise. So first and foremost, we need to make sure your dog is standing in good form. The key indicators that we're looking at for form for a stand. Good boy. Wait. Good. What we would like is, if we go from the head down, is that the head is level, approximately level with the ground, and in a natural position relative to the spine. The spine, or the top line, is engaged and straight and strong. We want to make sure that there is not a roach or a dip in the spine. We want the forelimbs to be straight and vertical underneath the shoulders. The front feet should be evenly placed and not toeing out or toeing in. As we go down to the hind limb, we would like the hind feet to be approximately placed the width of your dog's pelvis. Their hocks should be vertical, which indicates they're the right distance away. If your dog is not comfortable standing with their feet in correct alignment, we can use equipment like these little platforms to help them have their feet in the right place. We can also add that a little bit further by manually positioning their feet if we need to make sure that they're correctly aligned. You'll also note that I've got the bowl in a great position so that Grid is looking at it, which keeps his head in natural alignment with his spine. So your first exercise and the first level of this exercise is literally, can your dog stand in good form for at least 2 minutes? So we can challenge this a little bit at the beginner level by feeding our dog's head to get a little bit of gentle weight shift. So can your dog stand first of all? When we feed them with a bit of a head turn, can they go back to neutral? Back foot up. Good boy. So I'm going to readjust his feet because he moved a little bit out of position. Yes. Good. Yes. Yes. Good. Good. Oh my. Find it. So this is beginner level 1 with our stand and balance exercise. Can your dog stand and hold good form in that stand for at least 2 minutes? So our isometric balance exercise number 2 is a variation of our stand and balance. We want to make sure again that our dog is standing in correct form before we ask for any more difficult exercises or progressions. So I'm going to check that Florrie's feet are positioned correctly. Good girl. Yes. So our next exercise is we're going to challenge the isometric contraction and that core stability by asking Florrie to lift and hold a paw. We're going to start with the front paws, and again, like the foundation exercise of stand and balance, we're going to do this for 2 minutes total. Yes. So you note that I'm asking her to lift the paw on her own and to hold that for a few seconds. Yes. Good girl. Good. Yes. Good. Super. Yes. Good girl. Yes. 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 Our next variation for this exercise, if we need to increase the difficulty for our dog, is we can lift a paw that is not a front paw. There's a couple of different versions of this that we can do. So the first one we can do, so this was three-legged standing, when your dog lifts and gives a front paw. We can also do three-legged standing with a back paw. If your dog will target on their own, that's fantastic, but if not, we might need to manually lift. Good. Yes, and hold a back paw. Good. Super. Yes. Good girl. The nice thing with this is it's also great desensitization to having paws handled. Good. Yes. So you can see that although we're getting a small amount of movement and adjustment when I'm lifting that core, after she's stabilized, she's holding her core and her form really nicely. Good girl. Yes. Another really important note on this exercise, this version of this exercise, is that I'm not holding that paw up with a great amount. Oh my, help it up. A great amount of weight in the paw. Once I lift that paw up, she's actually maintaining that position. The last variation of the stand and balance paw exercise is we can do two different paws being lifted. So in this exercise, there's two different versions we can do. We can lift two paws on the same side. Good. Yes. Good. Good. Super. Yes. Or we can do two opposite paws. Florals, you're being a brat. Up it up. Oh my. So that's when I'm going to lift her front left paw and her hind right paw. Good. You can see how challenging this is to that core stability and balance. Yes. Good girl. This one. Good girl. Super. Good girl. Like this paw. This one. Good. Yes. Good girl. Find it. So with the version 2 of our stand and balance with lifting a paw or multiple paws, again, we're aiming for a total of 2 minutes standing, or you could do 2 sets of 2 minutes standing. This is the advanced isometric core exercise, and what we've done is we've substituted the equipment that the dog is standing on for some very unstable equipment. When we increase the instability of equipment that we're using, we further engage the core and we ask for a really large amount of isometric contraction of those core muscles. So like the previous versions of this exercise, we're aiming for 2 minutes total standing. We can challenge our dog's core even further if required. By adding in handler movement to engage the head to turn, which gets even more core engagement with the weight shift required. Yes. We're making sure through this whole exercise that our dog is maintaining really great form. So remember those key indicators of form we're looking for are the placement of the front feet, the positioning of the top line and the back and the head position, and also the hock, if they're vertical, and the alignment of the rear paws. Good. Yes. Good boy. Like the other versions of this exercise, we're aiming for 2 minutes total standing, or for the really advanced dogs, we can move towards 2 sets. Oh my, florals. 2 sets of 2 minutes. Have a go with these exercises. I look forward to seeing how you go and what you think about them. Find it.